G'day guys, Disney Dave coming at you once again from down under, and welcome to another Q&A video. I have not done a Q&A video for ages and ages and ages. A couple of weeks ago I put a call out for people to send me in questions for my next Q&A. Now I was going to do a Q&A at 2,000 subscribers because I'm coming up to 2,000 subscribers, but I have just had this absolute influx of questions and people have been asking me on my last couple of videos, when are you doing the Q&A? I can't wait for the next Q&A. So I thought instead of doing my next Q&A at 2,000 subscribers, why not do it at 1,800 subscribers, which is what we hit this week. That is so exciting. We've hit 1,800 subscribers. Thank you very much to everyone out there who subbed my channel and is supporting me. Thank you to all those people who've been there from the beginning and continue to support me. And hello and welcome and thank you to all the brand new subscribers to my channel. So we're gonna do the Q&A today a little bit earlier than I'd planned, but people want to see it, and I've got a whole bunch of questions here today. So I'm going to pull them up, and we're gonna answer a couple of them because I'm going to reserve some for a 2,000 subscriber Q&A as well. Okay, so here we go. We watched some stuff. Asked, if you could work for Disney Studios, what job position would you like to do? That is a very, very good question. And if Disney, if you are watching out there and you're listening, just anything, just give me anything. Just let me work for you, please. In all seriousness, really, I would do anything. If I had the opportunity to work for Disney, wow, I would just do absolutely anything. Preferably, if I were to get a job at Disney, I'd love it to be some sort of creative role. I'd love to actually be working on the movies or on the animated films. I would love to be working on the story team for an animated film, like coming up with ideas, writing a screenplay, developing characters. I would love that. That would be an ultimate job for me. Otherwise, I would love to be able to direct or produce a live action Disney movie. I think it'd just be so much fun to be able to work for Disney. But just something creative. Just let me do something absolutely creative. I'd love that. Next up, Rosalique Otten. Rosalique is a very, very long time subscriber. Thank you for all your support over the time. Rosalique asks, do you like Johnny Depp? If so, what's your favorite movie of his? Johnny Depp. I have a little bit of an issue with Depp. I loved his earlier movies, and I mean, he was such a transformative actor. He would push boundaries and push himself as a performer and as a character actor, and every one of his characters was just so different and so transformative. Edward Scissorhands, Ed Wood, Secret Window, From Hell, Fear and Loathing, Once Upon a Time in Mexico, Sleepy Hollow. I mean, the guy did so many amazing movies. I feel that after the success of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, he maybe got a little bit lazy. He doesn't seem to push himself as much as he used to these days. It always seems like he's retreading the same character over and over again. Tonto and the Lone Ranger was just a Indian version of Jack Sparrow. His version of Willy Wonka was just a crazy, weird version of Jack Sparrow. And the Mad Hatter is almost like a clown Jack Sparrow. I feel like he's playing the same character over and over again. I feel like he's fallen into like this safety net where he is. I always like to say that it's Johnny Depp starring as Johnny Depp playing Johnny Depp. It sort of feels like Johnny has developed like a character. He is a character and he is playing himself playing other characters, if that makes sense. But yes, I love him. He's done some amazing movies, and as I said, such a transformative and incredibly versatile actor. I just wish he would start pushing boundaries again. That being said, my favorite movies of his are the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. I just love Jack Sparrow. I think it's such a cool character and I just love it. And look, I should say, even though I rag on him for playing the same character over and over again, I love the Lone Ranger. I loved him as Tonto. I love him as the Mad Hatter. It's nothing against him. I just feel like he could be pushing himself like he used to be. Yes, fan of Johnny Depp and Pirates of the Caribbean franchise for sure. I mean, Jack Sparrow, come on. Rosalie has a second question. I'll read this too. She asks, do you have any VHS tapes, maybe Disney ones? Yes, I do. I sold a lot of my old VHS tapes a few years back, maybe 10 years ago, but I kept a lot of the ones from when I was a kid because they're all just very nostalgic. And I have quite a few Disney ones. I don't have a lot, don't have as many as you would probably imagine. My nan had a huge collection of Disney VHS, so I was always borrowing them from her. She pretty much had nearly every single one of the Disney animated movies on VHS. A couple of years ago, my nan sold all her VHS for a ridiculous... Did she sell them or did she give them away? I think she gave them away to a local op shop or something, and I was devastated. Like, I was hoping that I could have them one day. I was scared to say, oh man, do you mind if I take them? She even had like a really old version of the Wizard of Oz that I wanted, and I was so disheartened when she got rid of them all, you know, without even asking me or any of the other grandchildren if we wanted any of the VHS tapes. But that's okay. But yeah, I do have some. I do have a fair handful of Disney ones. I kind of wish I had more because they are cool. They're a cool little collection to have. We're going to get to another question from Jeff B. Thank you, another long-time supporter. Which Disney park is your absolute favorite and why? Come on, Jeff. This is obvious. Disneyland Anaheim. It is the Disney park. I've been to 3 Disney parks in my life. Disneyland, Disneyland Paris, and Walt Disney World in Orlando. And I know Orlando is bigger and better and it has so many different parks within the one precinct. Disneyland Paris is even bigger. The castle is bigger and most gorgeous castle I've seen. But Disneyland Anaheim just has a magic that the other parks just simply do not have. It's the original park, and it's the park that Walt built. I mean, you go to Disneyland, you feel like you're walking in Walt's footsteps. He built the park. He was there when they were building it. It was his ideas. You can imagine him walking through and going, I don't like that. Pull that down, put this here. Or going, oh, this is a good way to make this better. Or let's put this here. I mean, Walt was there. He was in amongst it. He was building the park. He even had a little apartment building there, which is in the firehouse. He's just there wherever you go. I don't feel that magic at the other parks because he didn't build them. Disneyland Anaheim is just, that is my happy place, and I love that park so much. Mini Gold Hat! G'day, Mini Gold Hat. You are not so much a long-time subscriber, you're a more recent subscriber, but so much support from you. Thank you so much. Mini Gold Hat asks, how long does it take you to make a video on average? Well, really, it's how long's a piece of string? It depends on the video. It depends how long the video is, how detailed the video is, the kind of video. My rule of thumb is it would probably take 3 times as long to edit a video as it would to film it. Most videos I probably sit here for 20 minutes to half an hour filming. I usually wouldn't spend much longer than that filming. And then that video could probably take me between an hour and an hour and a half to edit. So it is a long process. Stuff like Behind the Classics, of course, that requires a lot more dedication. So even like those 10-minute segments, I could spend maybe an hour writing the piece. Then I could maybe spend another couple of hours finding the footage to go in the video. And then I reckon a good 2 or 3, maybe 4 hours to actually edit it together. So there's a good 6 or 7 hours in something like, even something as small as the 10-minute Behind the Classics, something like a vlog, you know, a couple of hours to edit. Stuff like my collection videos, I'll sit there for an hour to 2 hours doing a collection, and that could just take me forever to edit. Some videos I edit over multiple days. Some videos I can sit there and crank out in an hour or 2 hours. Again, it just really depends on the type of video and how much is involved in actually editing or filming or whatever. It's a lot of time and a lot of effort, but I absolutely love it and I love the results. Another quick question from Mini Gold Hat. Do you prefer slipcovers or steelbooks? Slipcovers. I'm a slipcover man. I'm a slipcover maniac. I feel like slipcovers are more of a collection. They're like my collection. The slip-covered movies, they just look so cool lined up. Steelbooks I feel are more like a novelty item. I don't buy so many of them. I just buy the ones I really, really love or think are really cool, just to have as like a novelty piece of memorabilia or something. I don't care so much about the film inside. It's the slip-covered ones I just love, and I go crazy for slip-cover movies. I have to get every single one. Nicholas Borg, another long-time supporter. Hello, how are you? Nick asks, top 3 Disney live-action movies. That is so hard. There's so many amazing ones. Mary Poppins, Pete's Dragon, The Absent-Minded Professor, Cool Runnings, the Honey I Shrunk the Kids films, the Mighty Ducks films, Man of the House, I'll Be Home for Christmas, the Santa Claus, the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. I just simply can't pick one. It's so hard to pick. Any of them, all of the above. I can't pick a top 3 off the top of my head. Maybe one day I'm gonna do I'll do like a top 10 or a top 5 Disney live action movies. I have to split up into eras though, because the classic movies and then like the 80s, 90s movies and the more modern movies, they're just all so different. I feel like you can make some good videos out of them. But off the top of my head, there's some of my all-time favorite Disney live action movies. I feel like I'm missing out some as well. I can't do it. I'm sorry. Off the top of my head, I can't do it. We're going to get to one more question here today. We're going to make this a relatively short Q&A. So we've got some more questions left over for next time. Dalek Sec 87 asks, what would you say are the most underrated Disney movies? I feel like a lot of the older live-action movies sort of go unrecognized now. Like I mentioned, The Absent-Minded Professor, which was the original version of Flubber, and its sequel, Son of Flubber. I feel like movies like that, or The Swiss Family Robinson, or Babes in Toyland, I feel like a lot of those movies sort of don't get as much recognition as they should. There's so many amazing ones out there. Even those Kurt Russell ones, the Happiest Millionaire and The World's Strongest Man, the Computable Tennis Shoes. All those are older movies are just fantastic. I feel like they don't get as much appreciation as they should these days. And I mean, these are ones that are being delegated to Disney Movie Club only releases. They're not ones that Disney have deemed good enough to go to mass market. I think that's so sad. When we talk about animated movies, I would say the package features, Saludos Amigos, Three Caballeros, Make My Music, Melody Time, Fun and Fancy Free, Ichabod and Toad, and all those movies, I think they're so underrated. Even here in Australia, when we talk about the Disney canon, they're all completely omitted from the Disney canon. So like when you buy the Disney Classics on DVD, they're not included. So the spine numbers are all just completely out because they just omit all of these movies as if they never existed. I feel like the company needs to pay attention to them, because they are really, really wonderful movies and they're so important to the history of Disney animation, but they just get shunned and just forgotten about. And when the company wants you to forget about something, you forget about it as the generations go on. So I feel like they're underappreciated and really underrated by more modern audiences, I suppose. They're really wonderful movies. And if we're talking more recent stuff, movies like The Lone Ranger, John Carter, the National Treasure movies, Prince of Persia, I feel like they all just caught this really bad rap. I think modern audiences, when I say modern audiences, it's only been like 10 years or so since sort of that batch of movies came out. I feel like today's audience would be more receptive to those movies. Back then it was sort of the post-big blockbuster superhero fantasy adventure movie sort of came and had a big turn on its head and became really popular again. I feel like they were made in this area where people weren't watching that kind of stuff and they just caught a bad rap. I think they're truly underrated movies. They're fantastic movies. They're so much fun. Fun action adventure movies. Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, and At World's End. People rag on them so much, but they're incredible movies. I love them so much. Let's talk about animation. Moana, Tangled, Brave, Princess and the Frog. So underrated. I don't understand how Frozen can be so big and then Tangled and Princess and the Frog just sort of get forgotten about by some audiences. It's kind of sad. Okay, so I said I was going to make this a very short Q&A. I feel like it's kind of long, but it's kind of short compared to some of the Q&As. I've got a ton of other questions there that I want to get to in future Q&As. And also, I want to ask you guys, if you have any other questions, please ask away down in the comments below. I keep a little note on my phone so I can keep track of all the Q&A questions. And then when I sit here to do Q&A, I can just pick and choose whatever questions I want to answer. So keep sending the questions in, and I'll keep adding them to this stockpile of questions I have on my phone right here. I think the next Q&A will be 2,000 subscribers, maybe 1,900. We'll see how we're tracking for subscribers over the next few weeks or so. Look, thank you once again for joining me in this video and all my other videos. 1,800 subscribers. That is absolutely crazy. Thank you to each and every one of you who have watched one of my videos, sat there and thought, you know what? I like this guy, I like his videos, I'm gonna hit subscribe, I'm gonna watch more of his stuff. Thank you to each and every one of you who has done that out there. It's so very appreciated, and you're helping me grow this community and this channel in ways that I only ever hoped I could grow it. So thank you so much. I'm really appreciative of absolutely every single one of you. The old guys and the new guys, welcome aboard. Thank you so much. If you are a first time viewer of this video, somehow this is the first video of mine that you've stumbled across, and you would actually like to see some more of my videos, then please help me get to that next step in reaching 2,000 subscribers. And after the jump, give me some support. Hit subscribe. To all my regular viewers out there, thank you once again for joining me. And to absolutely everybody, I hope I'll see you again soon. Until next time though, guys, take care, and I hope you have a magical day.